Extra value meals are back. For just $5, get a savory and sweet sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, plus hash browns and a coffee. Only at McDonald's.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all on the app. Download Thumbtack today.
You better not have no plans tonight.
Movie time and it's feeling right.
You're looking for a love that lasts. You'll find it at Romancing the Podcast. Ooh, ooh, baby, you had me at hello. Ooh, I love you.
I know.
Ooh, ooh, baby, you're the wind beneath my wings. Ooh, ah, I'll have what she's having.
We don't need laugh lines for this, though, but any of those would work. Although those were less laugh lines and more just sad realizations about what it is to not be rich in America.
See, I'm wise enough to know
when
that
the
the bills
rich
need paying.
Oh, my bad. Paige, we got to start before I get arrested.
Thank you for tuning into Romancing the Pod. You let us... Hold on, let me run that again.
Paige has had some Java, I could tell.
Oh, thank you for tuning into Romancing the Pod. You had us at Yeehaw! I'm Paige Wesley.
And I'm your cowboy kitten savior, Todd.
Yay.
And that means Paige made us watch
The Wrong Paris.
Paige.
Yes.
Was this the first time you saw The Wrong Paris?
It is not. I watched this a few months ago when it first came out.
Okay.
Because everyone was recommending it.
Yeah, because you're a slave to the algorithm. I get you.
Netflix knows what's up.
Right. And Netflix was like, Paige is going to like this. Like Paige and probably about 8 million other subscribers are going to like this.
Netflix was like, hey, bitch, do you want to watch documentaries about Eileen Wuornos and then also this? And I'm like, of course I fucking do.
Paige, it definitely served me the Eileen Wuornos one. We started watching it here in our hotel the other night.
I watched it last night.
Natalie and I were watching it in bed right before we were going to sleep. And she was like, we got to turn this off because I'm not going to sleep if this is on. And I have to go to sleep.
Sure.
So she was like, we got to change it to something else.
Here's what's real terrible is that like Jake and I couldn't decide on a horror movie to watch last night because it was Halloween and we were handing candy out to the children's. So we watched Perfect Neighbor, the body cam documentary that made me want to shoot that woman myself.
Yeah. Natalie and I watched it like 2 weeks ago. It's so good.
Oh, and then I doubled down and watched the Eileen Wuornos documentary. And then I watched this.
So Paige, what you're saying is if you want to see a trilogy of how women ruin people's lives, watch A Perfect Neighbor, the Eileen Wuornos documentary, and then this movie. Got it. Check. Okay. Thank you for saying it. That's brave, but I appreciate your saying it.
Revisit that comment when you get to the end of the Eileen Wuornos documentary, because while you're probably right on either side, there were some things in that documentary that I was like, oh shit, I thought I knew the Eileen Wuornos story and I did not know these pieces.
Yeah, there's no way you can know everything.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, this is not about the Eileen Wuornos documentary. That's a whole different podcast. But I watched this a couple months ago because everyone was buzzing about it. And I was like, we're probably going to end up watching this. And to be honest with you, I was trying to get us to watch it then, but we were in the middle of another theme that it just would not fit.
Probably Beauty and the Beast, Paige.
I think it was during Beauty and the Beast. And then we obviously we did Spooky because we always do, right? And I was like, this isn't really spooky. And then as soon as spooky season was over, I was like, we got to do it.
We got to watch a movie that Netflix produced that is largely just a land baron's harem competition show. Let's do it.
Yes, but the thing that I love about this so much is whoever wrote this movie, I assume, either worked on a reality show or had friends who did. Because there's so many little tidbits in it that like you only glean from being adjacent to the industry on like a crew side, which crack me up. But then also it's very funny. The jokes still hit.
Yeah.
On a second watch, equally as fun. It holds up on a second watch, which is great. And it's basically a Hallmark movie, except people kiss and fuck. And there's fun jokes. And if you watch bonkers Netflix reality shows, or even, I guess, The Bachelor, I'm not a Bachelor person. I like it better on Netflix where they trick people.
Yeah, this felt more like a Lachey joint because it was just mean.
It's just mean. It's just mean. But it is absolutely the like too hot to handle, like perfect match nonsense.
I mean, Harry from like Perfect Match, Too Hot to Handle is in this movie. Yeah.
Harry Jowsey is in this movie.
And plays the perfect character because it's just him.
It's just him. There's a plot point in this movie that actually happened on a show I fell down the rabbit hole on and couldn't convince you and Mikey to watch, which was Naked Dating.
Yeah, I wasn't into that.
Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Naked Dating is wild. But there's literally a plot point that happened on Naked Dating for real and also happened in this show or in this movie. So like, I thought the insight into how reality shows work is very fun, but then we also have an actual love story with good chemistry, and he's hot as fuck. So like, this is, for me, this is what I want out of my Hallmark movies. This.
Yeah. Here's what I don't want out of my Hallmark movies. Someone who claims to be from Nashville that definitely has the accent of someone from Hohenwald. Or like
100%.
Maybe even as far as Topsy. Like, that is not what anyone in Nashville has ever. In fact, I'll say this. I've never heard anyone in my life, and I've lived the majority of my 98 years in Nashville. Never heard anyone that sounds like the Nashville lady in this movie. It's like a boardwalk caricature picture of a Southern accent. It's not even anywhere close to reality. It's hilarious.
She sounds like the girl in Miss Congeniality that's like, I believe what it says on the Alamo Dome. We are all winners. I'm about 99% sure she's Canadian.
I mean, she certainly isn't from Nashville. Yeah. She's as Nashvilleian as Shania Twain.
And who is notably not Nashvilleian and notably Canadian.
Man, she feels like a tourist.
Let's go home.
Yes. Paige, I'm definitely getting a noise complaint.
Let's do it. This house, the house where they filmed everything, I'll burn a fun fact. There's not many fun facts, by the way. This house was used in Riverdale, Smallville, like a million other TV shows. And it is in Vancouver. So Vancouver, Canada.
Perfect.
So I would guess many of our additional cast are probably from Canada, or at minimum are not from the places they say they are. But that doesn't matter because we get hilarious reality show versions of them saying where they are from, and I love every second of it. The other fun thing on a second watch, if you watch this again, watch for their chirons because they change every time.
Oh, I mean, their names don't, but like their descriptors do. Yes.
Yeah. Like antihistamine failure is one of them.
I saw that.
They're hilarious.
It was very good. I did love that, like, well, I don't know. It's like, for the most part, the girl from Orlando is like a Disney princess, right? Because Orlando is Disney, right? But like the girl from Provo was baby crazy. And if she's from Provo and 28, like her Chiron said, she's already got 4 kids.
Right.
And all she's looking for is to find a husband to make her a trad wife.
Right. I feel like they couldn't explicitly say that. And they were like, she's the one who's baby crazy, because there's always one that's like, I can't wait to start a family and just have his babies. I'm like, girl, you just met him, right?
That's why I wanted Mikey to go on a dating show, because he would be like the reverse of that trope. It would be a guy who's baby crazy.
True. I'm just glad that he is with somebody that he likes very much right now. And that makes me very happy.
Absolutely. Same. Yeah.
Congrats, Mikey. But I think them making it Provo is their tiny dig of like, we can't say it's this.
Yeah.
But it's this.
It definitely is. Like, that's like Mormon Central.
Here's something that I've noticed on reality shows that I think this movie is a little bit better about. Because this movie, they're all like 25 to 28, right?
Yeah.
And even our main character, it's kind of portrayed that like she kind of skipped college or deferred to take care of her grandma, like all kinds of, so she's like mid-20s.
Yeah.
Finally getting to do her dream or whatever. But a lot of reality shows now, you'll see people that are like 23.
Yeah.
They have like lip fillers and they're like, I'm ready to get married. And I'm like, oh no, so many choices. You're only 23. Like, live a bit.
I was making terrible choices at 23. And I do think the youngest character on the show is the girl from Nashville.
Yes.
And she's 24, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is, I would say, middle-aged for that kind of like demographic. Like for the people that are on.
Sure.
Like these, like they're way too young to be getting married in my opinion. But I mean, also, they're in the South, so.
Look, I would trust that opinion from you as someone who was married at 24.
Now it's 25, but yeah.
25, yeah.
And listen, it works well for some people. Good for you.
Good for y'all. Yeah, I'm a person who got married later, and I feel like that was the right choice for me. I have met many 24-year-olds who were like, I can't wait to get married. And I'm like, y'all gonna fight so much.
Yeah. But my best friends, like, have been married since they were that age, you know, like, and they're doing great.
Good for them.
Yeah. So it works sometimes.
It works for some people.
Not for me.
24-year-old Paige was a nightmare.
Yeah. Me too. It was a me problem for sure.
100%.
Yes. I do want to point out that featuring a reality TV show called Honey Pot. Like, my only note would have been like, there's too much honey, not enough pot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But that's because they're filming it in Texas.
I really thought it was hilarious, though, that when he proposes for the show, he has a ring and then a gold bar.
Gold bar?
I thought that was hilarious. Like, I kind of really did enjoy this movie for a lot of the same reasons you said.
Yes.
And that is one of them. Like, I was like, hell yeah, that's so dumb. And that is something you would see on a reality TV show like this.
100%. This movie understands the hilarious idiocy of reality TV in a way that most other things don't.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it. I would watch the fuck out of this reality show because it's better than The Bachelor.
Yes, it's way better than The Bachelor.
It's way better than The Bachelor because of like the mechanisms of like, well, if you go on dates, you win money. So you really would never know if somebody was there for the love or the money. And that is kind of like a piece of the like, why doesn't anyone take the money? They all go for love. And it's like, well, that's stupid. It's a reality show or whatever. So if you could create one that really was for love or money, there used to be shows like this in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And then again in like 2007 during the writer's strike.
You mean like Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire?
Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Or a Joe Millionaire was that one guy where it turned out he was just like a construction worker.
Yeah, he was like a millionaire on paper.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be like someone who owned an NFT, like being like, I'm a millionaire.
I mean, I feel like no one's stopping you from just changing your last name to Millionaire.
Oh my God.
Was it Dr. Lawyer Esquire or whatever?
My name is Dr. Millionaire. Wait, you don't even have a PhD? No, my first name is Dr. Last name Millionaire.
Yeah, I do have a pretty PhD, pretty hella dollars. Why haven't we changed our names to Millionaire, Todd?
I don't know. Guys, meet me at the courthouse. I love that throughout this entire filming of the meta reality TV show that the movie takes place in.
Yes.
Like the crew is wearing black crew uniforms.
Yes.
Like the fact that they weren't just stone cold hot doesn't already make that clear that you're crew, guys.
Right.
And that's not saying anything. Like, it's not their fault that, like, if you're not a 10, you're holding gear. Like, that's just the way it is on reality TV shows. It's not right, but that's the way it is.
It's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna hold a clipboard every day because that is my job on a reality show.
Same.
Is the clipboard being like, go back to when she said that she would slob on his knob. We should get that, but run it by standards and practices first.
Get Todd out of the hexagonal cage that we lock people in until they fall in love. He does not belong there.
My job is literally to stand next to the camera and for them to film people saying things and having honest reactions. And then they turn to me and they're like, make that funnier. And then I write something and then I hand it to the person to say in a confessional. That is literally my job on a reality TV show set.
So Paige, you're the one telling the lady from Orlando to just pretend she's full on Cinderella in this movie.
100%.
That's the character they cut for time. They like have like the funny girl who's like punching up the actual characters in the reality TV shows
100%.
like story. Yeah. Hey, can you guys animate in some birds while she's trying to sing with the horses?
Friend of the show, Crystal Adams, wrote The Circle season 2, and her job was to literally just like watch them in the apartments all the time and then write the voiceover commentary on the dumb things that they would do.
Oh my God, she is so good at that kind of stuff too. Paige, I have an insane question to ask you that'll maybe pivot us back into talking about the movie The Wrong Paris.
Sure.
Trey was gonna fuck that horse, right?
Which horse? The chocolatey colored one?
No. The one that he took his shirt off to then wash in slow motion. Like, the only reason he did not have sex with that horse, that he was clearly doing whatever version of foreplay they most enjoy, because the horse was not like, nay.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only reason they didn't have sex is because Dawn showed up and chicken blocked him.
Ruined the moment.
Yeah.
He was about to clop them cheeks, but like, no.
Yeah.
I think he was pulling a George of the Jungle and knew she was there the whole time. You might be unfamiliar with the scene from George of the Jungle in which he runs around shirtless near horses.
I am not. Leslie Mann is in that movie, and that was a formative movie for me growing up. Just going to throw that out there.
Sure.
I don't know, man. It seems too sexual for him to do that. What he thinks is on his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the fact that the cameraman who's capturing it all for the reality TV show is hidden
Sure.
doesn't make sense to me unless Trey's fucking that horse, is all I'm saying.
And the cameraman was hoping for it, and he was like,
Yes.
I'm going to sell this to the media after.
Yes. But like, if Trey knows the cameraman's there and they're getting the shot for the show, then it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But you hid the cameraman to make me feel like this is what Trey's like when no one's watching him. That's concerning.
If you're a hot guy who has horses and listens to this show, slim margins probably. But if you're one of them, do you do it shirtless? And if you do, post that shit on Instagram more.
It wasn't just that he did it shirtless, Paige. That kind of made sense maybe to me. You know, like, he's by himself, whatever, doesn't want to get his shirt wet. He's got other chores to do.
It's the spraying himself down.
Yes, it is the legit spraying himself down and like scrubbing his own body and then like getting his body on the horse's body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was troubling. It's honestly, someone needs to cut in the most appropriate for that scene song, and that is Genuine's My Pony.
Oh, I was going to say Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
I would say the same thing, but I hate Big and Rich.
Sure.
So like, there you go.
Sure. I'm just saying for like what fits in this movie. But if you had put Genuine's Pony over that scene, I would have lost my damn mind. That would have been even funnier.
Nerds out there, somebody go cut, like, just go do that. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. And it's hilarious.
I'm going to burn a fun fact right now.
Please.
About that scene.
Oh my God. Paige, did the horse get pregnant?
Yes.
I knew he was a stud. Come on. I can't believe you set me up for that. Thank you.
No, the song playing during that scene is Sex Bomb.
I hate everything about this.
And if you've been on the internet for a long time, you may remember that a few Olympics ago, like five Winter Olympics ago.
Paige, that would be literally 20 years ago.
And you know what?
Maybe.
It's probably about that long.
All right.
A video came out after, and it was Evgeny Plushenko, one of the Russian figure skaters, skating to that song. And it's one of the like most bizarre cringe things I've ever seen, but it's cringe so hard it comes back around to being enjoyable.
I love it.
And he's doing it in a fake muscle suit and just like flexing and gesturing the whole time.
So just like the guy in this movie?
100%. And I was like, somebody's seen that Evgeny Plushenko video. Anyway, rescore that with Pony.
Let's do it. Paige, one final thing before we get started, because I thought it was the funniest thing I'd seen in the movie.
Yep.
At the end of the movie, when they're setting up the finale to take place perfectly cinematically for the shot of them and the Eiffel Tower, like, that made
Correct.
sense to me. I get it, right?
Yes.
But you can't have them get together then, because she has to run away and he has to go after her,
Right.
having, a meeting with the goddess and
Yes.
revealing the truth and him chasing after her. Whatever. You know the deal.
I
You
do.
know the story circles.
I do. I also know about setting up shots
100%. Yes. And they then run
away.
to a different location.
Yes.
That is just so happens to be right in front of the Eiffel Tower. I was like, you're trying to make me feel like they are doing this despite the show.
Right,
But
right.
you blocked this shot.
Yes.
Like, that's the same. What? No, this is insane to me.
The only way it works is if they were on a balcony and then there was a patio right below that balcony.
Right.
With the same view.
Yeah.
They literally run to the same place where they've just removed the set.
More or less,
That is 100% what happened.
Yes. You're like, this is the same shot. Like, and she ran away. It's crazy, guys. It made me laugh so hard.
I laugh every time we see the golden apple because it's supposed to be a really significant plot point, but it definitely looks like one of the gold plastic ornaments you would find at a Goodwill.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a trophy store apple. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, yeah, that's what I called it in my notes.
At a certain point in my notes, I'm just like, oh, look, it's the trash ass apple again. Like,
how dare you talk bad about New York?
Oh, no, I would never. I enjoy New York a lot.
Me too. I love New York. But Paige, we should also get through this movie that it seems like we both kind of loved.
Yes.
Scene by scene.
Let's do it. We open with no long credits, just credits over her making a sculpture, which is part of the story. Good job, Netflix movie.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. But she comes inside and her grandma has gotten the mail because she has gotten a letter from Paris Art School.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure has a fancier name in the movie, but I choose to believe that the people who wrote this movie, who have hilariously incisive insights about reality TV, also made it Paris Art School as a dig at romantic comedies. Because it's the most bonkers, dumb plot point that it doesn't really make sense in the real world that you could have.
Okay, yeah, but I feel like it makes sense with the reality TV show of it all. Like, I feel like it still serves the story so well.
It does.
Because the twist that they just like took them up into a plane and flew in circles for 9 hours and then landed in Paris, Texas is something you would see on a Lachey show. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen Lachey shows do way worse than that. But like, it felt so true for this movie. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, when we get to that point, I do want to talk about some of the shit we've seen on Lachey shows. That is worse than that shit.
Put a pin in it. We'll get there.
Put a pin in it. But here's why I think it's funny. As someone who applied to art school when I was going to college, I chose not to go. Here's the thing about art school. It is prohibitively expensive. And for like 99% of the art schools on earth, I realize that there are some art schools that are very prestigious. And this may be one of them. But for 99% of the art schools on earth, they're for-profit universities and anyone who wants to go can go. Like, even it's like, hey, I got into Le Cordon Bleu. Great. You and everyone else who filled out the application.
You got into a really fancy DeVry.
100%. I got into Academy of Art before when I was a junior in high school. They were like, whenever you can legally come and give us your money. Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
Paige got scouted. They were like, look at that girl on stage.
Right.
Do you think she has it? I don't know, but she looks like she might have a rich dad, so she's got it.
Do you have $45,000? You're in! Like, that's... Now, and again, I also realized, like, I used Cordon Bleu as an example. There are actual really good culinary schools and really good art schools that it would be a huge long application process.
Or like performance art schools like Juilliard, or, there are conservatories that are,
Yes.
For sure.
In my experience, performing arts schools are a lot more stringent.
Yeah, man.
But it is essentially displayed in this movie as if this was a very difficult art school to get into, and she finally got in and had deferred college, and this is her dream, and her mom wanted her to go to Paris. We'll find out what happened to her mom later. But this is something she has saved up for and worked for. But the second she opens the letter and is like, $30,000, ooh.
I thought $30,000 was kind of cheap for a whole year. Like, it wasn't just a semester.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that it was such a low amount, honestly.
So here's the thing, because the movie is a little unclear. When she first opens the letter, it's like also housing and the flights, but that's not included in the $30,000, right?
Right.
So like, that's the expensive part. Cause like there's also, when I went to state school in California, it was $20,000 my first year, but that also included like you had to live in the dorm or whatever.
Right. That's like room and board, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the next year it was less expensive, but there wasn't room and board and whatever. You had to like choose your room and board, and that would determine how expensive it is. But also, if you're not from California, it's like double or triple the price because of residency requirements.
Sure.
So like that could be at play. Although, I mean, you have to live in like Paris to do this, right?
Yeah.
So like that's got to be expensive. This is a huge part of why I did not go to Academy of Art. A, it was like twice as expensive. B, living in San Francisco made it like quadruple times as expensive as a state school.
Yeah, because you got to live there.
And hard to find apartments.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, plus the flights. And I'm like, a flight to Paris is like especially if you're one way, it's like $800, like max, maybe. Like,
I've always lived by the rule I never buy a one-way ticket to Paris.
that's a good rule.
Cut to credits. It's like the end of my Casablanca. I just wrote in my head right there.
I mean, that's a good idea for both pricing and air miles, but
yeah, exactly.
yeah, like here's what I would estimate her costs to be is that 30 grand plus at least an additional 20 grand.
I thought that it was crazy that if she got proposed to and then took the money, not the honey, and got $250,000, I thought it was crazy that she thought that would be enough to pay for all of this. Like, not even just like going to the school tuition wise, but like getting a house and like not working and like not having to support yourself while you're there. And like,
right.
It just like it has to be an expensive city, you know? Like
for 2 years,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, think about that. Okay, so let's say it's 30 grand a year for 2 years, so 60 grand. That's, you know, a quarter of your winnings right there. And that's not counting the taxes that would come out of those winnings. So take 35% at least off the fucking top of those winnings. So she's got 150K basically. And so 60 grand of it gone to tuition. Let's say 20 grand a year to live there for rent, maybe food, put it to 30 grand, you know, or whatever. So that's another 60 grand. That's 18. So that's 180. She's already spent all her winnings on just bare essentials.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say, if she gets famous on a reality show, she could become an influencer and that could supplement her income.
Great.
But still.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
She's going to need it because there's no way. Now, once she forfeited the winnings from the dates, if she had kept the winnings from the dates plus took the money at the end, then she's got a little wiggle room.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
But they actually show in the credits that they stay together, which I kind of love.
They stay
so
together.
like, yeah, they worked it out. They figured it out.
Yeah, I do love the ending of this.
Me
I feel
too.
like it's a realistic ending where people communicate and they're like, oh, we can figure our problems out.
Yeah.
Like, we can work it out. Anyway, so she's going to go to art school in France, but she clearly doesn't have the money. We can tell on her face. And also from the credits where she was in her workshop and it was like Paris Fund and it was a jar with dollars and 20s in it. And it's like, yeah, 30 grand. I was like, doesn't fit in a jar.
No, not like that.
Unless that jar's full of hundreds.
Right?
It's not. But what we find out, because she goes out to her truck, she's kind of sad about it. And her sister kind of follows her out. And she's like, hey, do you have enough money? Like, what's going on? And she's like, when grandma fell, insurance didn't cover all of her treatment. So I stepped in to cover it. And so I've got basically enough for tuition, but not enough to live there and not enough to fly there.
Yeah.
So I got to do something. And she drives her sister into town. She goes to work as a waitress where we meet her ex, who is awful. And he's only in this one scene, which is great.
I kind of love that he comes in and he's like, you know, kind of like, hey, what's going on, girl? Like, you want to talk about it? And she calls him out that he's like dating some lady down the street from like DP or whatever.
DQ.
I know, Paige, but DP was funnier.
Not if she's got a cloaca. Nope. She's a chicken. It's Texas.
Wow. But I do think that she calls it and he like, all right, fair play, and walks out. He like doesn't even try to like rebuttal at all.
Here's what's crazy. His rebuttal means I'm worth talking about then. I was like, what a wild thing to say.
Yeah, he does have the confidence of a much more attractive man. You're right.
Real. He's got Trey level confidence, but he's working with Trey as in TRAY, flat, boring, and square looks.
Accurate.
Yeah.
But works better in print.
It does. I realized it as I said it. I was like, damn it. Those sound the same.
Jokes that rely on you seeing the word being spelt don't work great on podcasts, Paige.
Oh, goofy morning. Podcast jokes. Anyway, so her sister comes into her job and is like, I know how you're going to make that money. You're going to go on this reality show because you get a $20,000 appearance fee, which I feel like I need to tell almost everybody. If you're planning on being on a reality show, $20K for an appearance fee is aggressively optimistic. That is very high.
Yeah, they're like pretty much paying you in like, think of the reach you'll have.
Well, no, they have to pay you a minimum like per diem rate.
Yeah, but it's low.
But it's like $100 a day. Yeah. But if you're filming for like 6 weeks, it adds up over time, but it's not. And they are feeding you, clothing you, whatever, but you have to like leave your job for that time. Like, it's not super lucrative unless you A, win and then the contract is a nightmare, or B, become an influencer.
Right.
And you do the show. It doesn't come out for like 6 months.
Maybe longer, honestly.
So by the time it comes out, your life's in a whole different place. You've probably broken up with the person you met on the show. And that means that you took a hit financially 6 months ago. And then the show is out. And now suddenly you're supposed to like make appearances and do all kinds of stuff. Essentially, don't apply to be on a reality show unless you got a nest egg that could cover your employment for like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she's going to apply because the show allegedly takes place in Paris. And her sister's like, it at least gets you to Paris.
Yeah.
And then you've got the money from the show and you just stay in Paris. Brilliant plan. However, these are the Lachey's that we're talking about.
Right? More or less.
More or less. We cut to her sister giving her a breakdown of what the show is. And it is basically The Bachelor plus Next.
It is kind of Next. You're not wrong.
Right? You like go through all the dating and then at the end you're like, do you take the money for the time you've been on the date or do you go on a second date, which is next, right?
Right.
And all the girls marry the guy, which I think are like they take the honey, not the money. And I think this is the movie foreshadowing. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is stupid. It's a lot of money. Like, what are you doing?
It is really stupid. Like, can these guys not find people to date that they have to hire the strangest matchmaking service I've ever heard of?
Well, and that's the one thing that I don't think we get a super clear picture of why Trey is on the show.
Where do they get all the millionaire men that they show in that 4-season, like, cut scene of?
Look, Todd, I used to watch Millionaire Matchmaker.
Oh, God.
And I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of men with money and terrible social skills.
No, I know.
But Trey is not one of them. And his whole, like, thing is like, oh, I have this ranch, but I'd like somebody to share it with. But the second he meets somebody he likes, he's like, oh, fuck the show. I don't care.
Well, and the horse.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know why he couldn't just share the ranch with the horse, but whatever. Again, if you happen to listen to this and are spraying yourself down shirtless while taking care of horses, post that shit on Instagram. Anyway, so we do get a contestant breakdown of like, don't lock eyes with him, don't kiss, and nobody ever eats on the shows, which is one of my my favorite running jokes in this movie is that no one eats on reality shows.
Yeah.
Because it is absolutely true. We'll talk about it more as we get into the reality show.
Yeah, you only see them drink.
And that there's a reason for that. Anyway, they get home and Birdie's their grandmother, overhears like, oh, you don't have the money, and like,
I love this scene.
Why? And she has to like tell her why, and she's like, you should have just come to talk to me and we would have figured it out, because I would have never wanted to cost you your dream, and it's my choice to do that. Like, I would have figured something out, loans or whatever, but I want you to go, and you can't control everyone around you. You are basically afraid of taking a chance on yourself. You have cared for everyone else enough. It is time for you to take a chance on you.
Yeah. I really love that she was like, you're scared. I know it's because you're scared. I like love that she called her on it. And like in a very sweet way, like in supportive way. But I love this scene so much. But like, you don't get a heavy hitter like Frances Fisher to play this character unless you're going to give her something to do like this. And she crushes it.
Yes. I love that we confront her personal arc early and the people around her speak truth to her about it. And she even kind of thinks about it of like, damn, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Okay, fine. I'll go on the show, which prompts her sister to try and like train her.
Yeah.
And gives her the contestant breakdown, which is my favorite.
Yeah. And also tells her what type she is.
Yes.
And I love, like, you need a friend in your life who can be the kind of honest that her sister is in this moment, because it's such a valuable gift to know the type of person you are. And by that, I mean like how the world at large perceives you.
Yes.
It is like such a gift to know that.
Oh, 100%.
And it doesn't make it right or correct even. It just is valuable for you to know that.
It's not necessarily correct or right, but it is how other people see you. And that's something you should understand about you. And if you don't like it, how and, where to change it, if that makes sense, right?
Yes.
So like,
or you may not want to change it,
Sure.
but it lets you know that like, oh, this is something I could lean into,
Yeah, or lean away from,
Yes.
whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
For me, my agent, back when I was doing colleges, made me do an exercise where you stand at the front of a room and everyone says what they think about you without meeting you.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting. And it gets even into the nitty gritty. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Like one that I got a lot at the time was Cool Mom, which I thought was really interesting. And if I changed my outfit just slightly, they were like, Cool Aunt. And I thought that was really interesting of like tiny changes. But they every single time they're like, has a cat. And I'm like, yeah,
accurate.
You got it.
Yeah.
They're like, has a cat, has a vinyl collection. I was like, you guys are 2 for 2.
Guilty on both counts, man.
Guilty as charged. Anyway, so the kind of girls she breaks down is, one is the Cinderella, which is, she's former Miss Gatorland from Orlando.
Yes.
Next one is rough around the edges, who is a Hooters bouncer. I do think she is a little queer coded and they kind of tip their hand and reveal it later on. Essentially like, yeah, she's not there for him. I don't think he will make her happy.
She is coded a different way, I'll say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe bi.
Perhaps.
Then we have the one with baby fever who's from Provo, Utah. Hilarious.
Right.
And then the small town girl type who is our main character. Dawn is her name. The passion, the tension, the action. Danielle L. Jensen's Saga of the Unfated duology is complete. I know you were waiting for it. And it's ready to be your next great fantasy romance binge. You know I would not steer you wrong when it comes to romantasy books, so you should read Saga of the Unfated. It's a Norse-inspired fantasy romance duology from the best-selling author of the Bridge Kingdom series. Book 1 is A Fate Inked in Blood, perfect for spooky season. You'll fall in love with Freya, who is a shield maiden with a secret gift and a forbidden love for Bjorn. So, a shield maiden blessed by the gods battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king, all while fighting her growing desire for his fiery son. Pretty sure that's Bjorn. Then, you should experience the epic conclusion to their high-stakes saga in Book 2, A Curse Carved in Bone. I honestly can't think of anything better for spooky season than carving curses in bones. It's like the whole vibe right now. This is also about Freya, who fights to break the shackles of prophecy in this searing conclusion to the Saga of the Unfated romance fantasy duology. That's 2 books. 2 books. You don't even have to wait for a third. 2. 1, 2, done. USA Today calls it captivating and sexy, with a fierce heroine and a smoldering hero. A Fate Inked in Blood is everything you want in a fantasy romance. You know who gave them that quote? Elise Kova, the best-selling author of A Deal with the Elf King. An Elf King. That's the only thing better than an Elf Prince. A Fate Inked in Blood and A Curse Carved in Bone are available now, everywhere books are sold. Now, we then cut to the production offices where we see that they've been to a bunch of different places. They have millionaires all over the world. This year it's supposed to be Paris, but they're interviewing Dawn. And this is where we first meet the producer, who I kind of love. We see 2. There's like an executive producer and then what I would call like a consulting producer or like a line producer.
I would call line. Yeah, just because it's very clear that she is the day-to-day.
Right.
And the other guy is
the money.
Yes.
Yeah. And so she's interviewing Dawn and realizes that Dawn doesn't know a ton about the show. And Dawn's like, oh no. And she's like, no, that's great because we could trick you then. Like this is...
No, that is why she's thinking that. But it also makes you kind of like her because she's very honest with who she is and her motivations the whole time.
Yeah.
And she stays true to that. And she like comes from a good place, I think. But she knows what her job is, you know?
Yeah. Yvonne Orji is the actress. She does an incredible job.
She does.
But Rachel her name is the producer. I think Rachel comes from a place of she loves a good story. And that's why she works in reality TV to kind of like she, to a degree in her heart, believes in the true love of the story.
Yeah.
But I do love at the end where she's like, shut the fuck up and let me win us an Emmy. And I was like, yes, Rachel, this is
right.
Emmy work.
The magic that she pulls pulls off in the show is not just being the person who most enjoys hearing the tea. She is also the best person in like the world to capture that on film, like capture the tea on film.
Yes.
And she's just really good at that.
She's really good at that. There is a very specific type of producer, and she is absolutely one of them, that they task with talking the reality show cast into not fucking shit up for themselves.
Yeah.
Where somebody's upset, somebody wants to leave the show or whatever. This is the producer that comes in and is like, hey, you don't want to leave. Brandon loves you, right? You guys definitely talked by the pool earlier. So like,
remember when you laughed about frog legs?
Yeah.
Remember when Trey was in the water and you laughed about frog legs with the guy? Yeah.
Have you seen this man's shoulders? You don't want to leave. And then when they're like, I want to leave, they're like, if you leave, it's going to cost you 20 grand.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll stay.
I'll stay
like,
forever now.
That's who she is.
Yeah.
That is who she is. And she's very good at it. But definitely in this scene, she's like, I feel like Dawn is a genuine, fun, likable person that people will like on screen. Because here's the like magic of reality show casting. You definitely need crazy people.
Yes.
You need Pumpkin in New York, 100%. And if you're a reality show person, you know who I mean. But then you also need the person that's going to stand next to them and go like, what the fuck? And then end up with the guy at the end.
Right.
So like, you need the audience analog of somebody who's not crazy.
Right.
And that's who Dawn is.
Or at least significantly less crazy.
Significantly less crazy, I think is what we go for. Because there's a level of, if you're ever applying to be on a reality show.
Yes.
Or
I agree.
Depending on the kind of show, if you're ever approached to be on a reality show, you have to either A, go in with a very business mindset about it, or B, be a little bit crazy.
I know I've said this before, but I was once approached to be on the show. Sex sent me to the ER, and it was a no from me, dog.
Yes, I remember you telling me.
Yeah.
It depends on the show. I've been approached for a number.
But like for writing or to be on it?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
For writing, you take that job.
I was going to say, yeah.
The wildest job you'll ever have. Like what Crystal did with, Circle.
Right.
I would absolutely take that job. I've taken smaller versions of that job many a time.
Yeah.
But I've also been approached to be on shows, and you then have to really very much weigh what capacity you'll be on, how you think they will portray you on the show, because you don't have ultimate control over that. Editing does. And there are types of shows that I would agree to be on. And if you are considering reality shows, there are some that are safer than others, like a Great British Bake Off. I think skill-based shows are always a better bet.
I kind of do think those are different altogether.
Yes,
they're not dating-based shows. Yeah, so they're going to position everyone in a kind light normally, unless like you come in with some real fuck Janice because she's good in Bread Week energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not here to make friends. Like, yeah.
I'm here to make pies.
I'm here to make pan. That's French for bread.
Get out of my face before I pound your cake. I'm sorry. We gotta get back to the movie.
We gotta get back to this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're interviewing her and they're like, she seems sweet and down to earth and easy to trick. I like her. The executive producer's like, I don't like her because she doesn't have a ton of followers.
Which is so accurate to what people care about most of the time, right?
100%.
Yeah. I did think it was funny that good producer Rachel, I called her good producer in my notes because she is clearly the good of the two producers. Rachel was asking her why she wanted to be on the dating show. And she was like, well, I'm from a small town. And she's like, oh, so you don't really, it's just mainly family. So you're just like looking to like widen the dating pool or whatever. Like the fact that she was saying she wants to widen the dating pool when the show only has one guy, I thought was so funny.
Yes.
And man, it made me love that character. I was like, oh, that's such a small joke that makes me like that person so much.
I loved it. But I also love that like, she really gets down to what Dawn's fear is.
Yeah.
Because like we know that Dawn wants to go to art school, but Rachel gets out of her like, I'm just scared that I'll end up in this small town forever.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily unique to dating. It's art school, it's everything.
Yeah.
I am afraid that my life will be this small forever through a victim of my own circumstances, basically.
Yeah, she very much is Belle from Beauty and the Beast in the first song.
100%.
Like, that's what she is, yeah.
Yes, and we're about to meet her Gaston in body shape mostly.
Yeah.
So they go out to the waiting room where they meet the contestant who has a giant social media following. Now, if you're the contestant with a giant social media following, you got to know that you're not going to win the reality show. Like, there's a politics to this. You're going to play and get into the finals, and then you get your own show next season.
Right.
Duh.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's what you should play for, by the way. I would say it's not advantageous for most people to win reality shows.
No.
90% of the time you want to come in second or third.
Yeah. Look at the people who won American Idol versus the people who almost won American Idol as far as net worth is concerned.
Yeah, let's see where Jennifer Hudson is after losing American Idol. Right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, you want to get at least far enough on the reality show for them to meet your family and go to your hometown.
100%. Yes.
And then you want to be off the reality show.
Yeah.
Pro tips. I think I've told the story where, so the many times I've been through producer rounds at America's Got Talent, I had an agent who notably got like 4 different people into the finals on America's Got Talent. She was fucking good at it.
Nice.
Kudos to Barb. I think you met Barb when we were at Flappers that one time.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was the Barb. She was
That
very
was
nice.
the Barb.
Yeah.
Super nice. Yeah, she's gotten multiple people the like finals round at America's Got Talent. And they learned very early that you don't want to win that shit. And so when they would get subsequent people into the finals, they would bring their lawyer to the finals to get them out of the contract if they accidentally won.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I mean, but good for them because they should protect themselves.
Oh, Barb's smart as fuck, man. Yeah.
I wish I had known that was the Barb. I would have showed her that I could juggle.
Oh, she's got so many jugglers, man. Like she's up to her neck in crusty jugglers.
Todd, the best. I know you want American Idol or whatever, but the best I can give you is a summer gig at the Salton Sea.
Hey, some of those gigs pay. Anyway, she's got the guy who can like spin burgers on an umbrella and shit. She got jugglers, man.
I'm out.
Anyway, so they meet the social media girl Lexi, who has been documenting her like trip through auditions and whatever.
Yeah.
And that person will almost always get on the show, but not stay on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I do also love that she's making a vlog in the waiting room, and she's like, I drove all the way here with my Diet Magenta Mules with adaptogens.
Yes.
I was like, there's a box of gluten-free and sugar-free hard seltzers in my kitchen right now from some fucking company.
Yeah, Paige, I felt so seen and shamed by this line. I was like, oh,
Alani,
shit.
send us shit.
I know, and they do. Like, Alani will send, like...
Oh, that's true. Natalie gets Alani shit.
Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, I mean, that's accurate. And sorry, fair criticism, world, you're right.
Fair, hilarious criticism. Diet Coke. Diet Coke's never going to send me anything. They don't need me. I just want free Diet Coke, man.
Mr. Coke, reach out.
Dr. Coke, please hit me up.
Doctor is the pepper page. Anyway, we got to move on. Wait, forgive me if I've just forgotten this quickly, but did we talk about when she goes to the bar and meets Trey?
It hasn't happened yet. It's about to happen.
Well, then I'll save this for 2 seconds from now.
Save it for 2 seconds from now, because Lexi is kind of a bitch to them, but then goes into the audition, and then they leave, and they end up at the country bar playing pool.
Okay, yeah.
Where Trey notices her.
Yes, but it's her, when I say her, I mean Dawn.
Yes.
And Dawn's sister playing pool, and they're not there with the show. They're just in Dallas for the tryout that night, so they're out in a Dallas bar or whatever.
They're having fun.
Yeah.
Visiting in from Dallas. She goes to close out the tab and runs into Trey, who doesn't look dirty enough to be a real cowboy.
Well, she calls him on his, clean boots and fancy hat.
Yep.
Which, I don't know. I would probably, if I was gonna, go into town.
Sure.
Maybe clean my male high heels and not have mud on them when I go to flaunt my high-heeled shoes at the bar.
Look, as someone married to a Texan, and I feel like this will be very applicable as we go through this episode, Jake has work boots and going out boots, and the going out boots are so painful, he wants to sit down the whole time.
Yeah, they're high-heeled shoes for men. Pointy-toed cowboy-style boots are like high-heeled shoes for men. That's all that is.
Go for them.
And then if they have a... more of a square box that they're like work boots. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for high heels at work.
Yeah.
High heels for going out for men.
Exactly. It's like carrying tennis shoes in your purse.
Yeah.
I just got knee-high gold cowboy boots. So yeah, I can't wait to wear I guess high heels for ladies is normal, huh?
Yeah, I'd say it's normal for men. Like boots are normal.
Yeah.
I own boots.
I love a good cowboy boot.
Yeah.
On men. I think it looks attractive.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. But they're high-heeled shoes for men, and I say this as an almost short king.
Sure. I mean, it just means that you got to watch your knees. It'll make your knees sore. And your hips a little bit.
And the hips don't lie, Paige.
Hips don't lie. And you got to keep those hips limber for later when my boots are on your shoulders. So like, yeah, that's where my ankles go. That's why I need them wide.
I just know that your in this sentence was Jake and not me, but yes.
Oh, sure. 100%, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was concerned by the sentence construction, not by the content.
No, your shoulders aren't nearly wide enough. I wear a size 9.
I know.
Anyway.
Paige requires a large shirt. That's all I'm saying. At least a large. That ain't me.
Oh, large is X and up.
Yeah, Paige. And that I ain't even a large.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Anyway, they do have, like, they start dancing and they have a really fun meet cute here where
they do.
There's genuine chemistry. I like it.
Yeah, but then some
some fucking Australian.
I don't know about that. I mean, but definitely like incel-y type dudes in the bar start harassing her sister. And she goes over to protect him.
Well, yeah, one of them is Harry Jowsey, Australian of note.
Oh, that's right. That is the guy from Too Hot to Handle is one of these dudes, yeah.
The guy that definitely, what was it, Perfect Match 2, where he cheated with Melinda and like on camera, he's like, the camera's kids. I'm like, you're wearing microphones, you fucking moron.
Yeah, he's a special kind of dumb.
He's a special kind of dumb. And then on like the reunion show or whatever, he's just like, I don't think you really know my side. I'm like, what side, bro? There were microphones. You're so dumb.
Paige, his side was he really didn't like want her to find out, bro.
Yeah, he really didn't want her to find out. He's also known on reality shows for being like, I don't think it's really fair that you're holding my past against me. And you're like, sir.
Yeah. I do feel like a lot of people watch Harry on reality TV shows and just like don't learn the lesson he's dying to teach you. Like, but yeah, sure, give him a shot.
Here's what I will say because our first introduction to Mr. Harry Jowsey was the first season of Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah.
And I do think he's very cute on Too Hot to Handle, just kind of dumb, right?
Yeah, he's the male Chloe.
He is the male Chloe, and which is why they dated for a while.
Yeah.
And so like, but the longer he's been on multiple reality show after reality show after reality show, and clearly has a close relationship with alcohol, the worse he looks. Where it's just like, bro, it's starting to show on you the amount of lies that you carry behind your eyes. Like,
Paige, oof. I'm going to need you to stop quoting what I'm going to assume are Duran Duran lyrics.
His name is Harry and he's standing near the bar. Yeah. He is a Leo and he'll dump you in the sand. Anyways, I don't know if he is. Probably, though.
I figured he was a Gemini because he's always trying to date 2 people at once. I don't know.
2 people at once?
Yeah.
Let's look it up. What's Harry Jowsey's astrology sign?
Oh, he's probably a Triceratops.
Verbicorn. He's a Gemini.
I called it. That's amazing. And honestly, appropriate. That makes sense. That checks out.
Zodiac sign Gemini, key trait, gets bored easily, which leads to moving on to new ventures or vibes.
Guys, man, if you just know a little bit about the origin of the words that are the astrology chart, you could have guessed that because I don't know anything about astrology.
No. He has mentioned that his sign contributes to his tendency to get bored easily. He also discusses the role of manifestation in his life and stresses that the belief and visualization have shaped his career and personal goals.
I'd love to see the list of personal goals he's written.
There's a linked article from a month ago. Harry Jowsey is manifesting love like the rest of us. I don't think so, man. I think he's manifesting a whole different version.
Paige, we're not even on the show yet. We've been talking for like an hour.
You know what? It's because it's great and I miss you. Anyway.
Same.
So she breaks it up with Harry Jowsey and his friend who are harassing her sister. Basically drags his friend outside, throws beer on him, and everyone's like, yeah, we were all men who could have stopped this, but we let the woman do it.
Honestly, she didn't need their help. Like, she handled it very effectively. I'm
but
not
they
saying,
did all stand by and watch her sister get harassed.
I'm not saying they couldn't have stepped in and been like, bro, maybe calm down a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, she handled it, and good for her. And by handled it, I mean probably broke that dude's hand and threw beer in his face.
Yeah. Now, here's something that you should all remember. Stick your hand through, well, don't. You might get arrested. Stick your hand through the handle of the beer mug and then use the mug to smash against heads if you're ever in like a green room type scenario.
That's a different podcast about a good movie.
Different vibes. She walks away and Trey is like, oh, and doesn't like get her number, but like watches her walk away. Probably because he's like, I'm about to be on the show, but we will find out later that he went back to that bar multiple times in hopes of finding her.
Yeah. I like this because it sets up that like, oh, they would have gotten together even if she hadn't gotten on the show.
Yes.
Maybe still because of the show, but if she hadn't gotten on the show, they still would have gotten together, right?
Right.
Because they would have met in this moment. But because fate intervened and they were going to put her on the show, boom, now she's on the show. I actually thought this might be the reason. I thought that there might have been a scene of like him looking at headshots of all the girls or whatever.
Oh, and him picking.
And then him being like her for sure. Because the executive producer didn't like her very much and she still ends up on the show.
Right.
But that was not revealed. But that's why I thought they were setting this up like that.
No, and to be honest, a lot of times on dating shows, the dater, the guy or girl whose people are trying to win the roses and or spurs, they don't usually get to pick because it's equally about them being surprised as it is about the contestants being surprised. So they usually don't have a say. The funniest version of that for me is on like the one with Flavor of Love, where he would meet each girl and give them nicknames night one. And he'd be like, your name is Candy because you seem sweet. That would just be your name for like 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
Anyway. So I don't think he got to choose, but
me either. They don't show that.
I think she's Rachel's pick.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think Rachel has met Trey and is like, they will actually get along. She's my dark horse to try and win this race and create a storyline that audiences can get behind.
Yeah.
Because that is her job.
I think she's picked some people for the drama.
Yes.
She's picked Cinderella for the comedic factor.
Correct.
And she's picked Dawn because this is the one that they could actually fall in love. I think they might be a good match. You know, it's like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. But they call her. She's going to Paris. So we cut to, they pick her up. Her grandma made her cookies. She gets in the car. She arrives at the hangar where this is also where reality shows look for people who do not have a ton of life experiences and have not left outside of their hometown much on purpose. Because if you were me and rolled up to this airplane hangar, I'd be like, that plane's not big enough to get to Paris.
They pretend like it is.
Because it
circles for 9 hours and you could fly to Paris in 9 hours from Dallas. But like,
what does it? I haven't been to Paris from Dallas. From California, it's like 12.
Yeah, but it's, well, maybe, okay, so it would be around 9 hours is all I'm saying.
Around 9 at least, yeah.
But anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up though is because the plane that is behind them when they're doing like the promo shots and it is positioned like that's the plane they took.
Right.
Seats maybe 16 people max.
Right.
The one they're on is as like, because there's like couches behind them. Like
yes, yeah. That's a commercial plane.
No, it's bigger than that even. It's like Air Force One level plane. Like it's wide. So like and listen, if it was Air Force One, it would be the season they went to Epstein Island or whatever. But like this one is going to Paris. So it's not that.
But it's big like that.
Yeah.
I would say it's about the size of your average Southwest plane if there were no seats. And then there's couches and stuff around. And those planes are wider than you think when there's no seats.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think it might be bigger because I think it's like a plane. I've only really flown on planes that big for like international flights, but there's like a middle row that doesn't have windows. One of those. I wish I knew more about like my brother's such a like nerd for this kind of stuff. He's like, I'm sure he's listening and like shaking his fist like it's a Douglas DC-7 or some shit like that. Like, cause he knows, but yeah, I have no idea.
I just know when they walk up on that Cessna, I'm like, nah.
I know, right? I was like, no, there's no way. I've taken a private plane like that and it was maybe 16, 18 seats max.
Yeah. I've been on a small small one. There's an airport next to Burbank that only flies those small ones, and it only goes to certain places, and there's no TSA. You just like walk on it. But yeah, they're like that size, and it's like 22 seats or something like that.
One of my favorite fun facts about Nashville is our private airport for like private flights is the John C. Toon Airport. I always thought that was such a weird, funny name. And I'm sure there is a John C. Toon. I have no idea who that is.
Probably.
But it's just funny to me. It's in Nashville, and the name of it's Toon.
Tune like a song?
Yeah.
Hilarious. That's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, they get everyone there and they're like, oh, she needs hair and makeup right away, which is also something I'm glad they put in this in a couple different places. And I'll talk about it when we get to the other places. But like the idea that like they are in hair and makeup. This is not just how people look all the time. And like on these shows, they have strategic scenes of them like looking like they're getting ready in the morning.
Yeah.
And then they get touched up by a crew all day long. Like it's like a thing.
There's hair and makeup around maybe not around the clock because they sleep at some point, but you know what I'm saying? Like and every time they're filming, there's hair and makeup on set to help out.
Right. There has to be, or else your face gets washed out on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so she signs the contract. They do the first shot of like the honeypot shot where they're like walking towards the camera and she just looks scared like a baby deer.
But also her shoulders are moving like wider than her legs are. Like she's taking smaller steps than her shoulders are moving forward and back. It's very funny to me. It's clear to me that she's trying to portray that like she does not know how to walk sexy like they're asking her to walk.
Right.
And I think that iCarly is crushing it in this scene and it's so funny to me.
Hilarious. But they get on the plane, they have to give up their cell phones, they give everyone champagne and treats. And as we kind of go around, there's a woman who's like not taking the champagne because she has moisturizing gloves on. That's Lexi.
Yeah.
Then the Provo, Utah girl is like, I can't drink. I might get pregnant this week, which is such a crazy thing to say.
I was like, oh, they told her not to be Mormon, quote, quote, on the show.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So she had to like make up a reason and she doesn't know how pregnancy works.
Okay, Amber is this other girl's name, and she's the one who's from Cleveland. We'll cover that briefly in a minute because her introduction is my favorite.
It's kind of crazy, but I love it.
It's crazy, and she's wearing a lei this whole time.
Yes.
And is like, I'm wearing 4 layers of Spanx. I could only basically squeeze in an Altoid and a sip of Diet Coke. Like, that's it.
Which, Paige,
yes,
as the soon-to-be new Surgeon General, I do have to say, if all you have in your stomach is an Altoid, do not drink Diet Coke. You'll explode like a bird that ate rice.
You're thinking of Mentos, but I agree.
Listen, the science is out there, Paige. Do your own research. I'll see you at HHS.
Weird fun fact, it's because of the candy coating on the outside of the Mentos. So, like, Mentos are the fresh maker, and that makes them unique.
Unless you're a pelican, then they're the death maker.
Ooh, I didn't know pelicans were that into Diet Coke. Anyway, at minimum, it's going to make you fart a lot. So, we also meet Cinderella, Cindy for short. And I love that she's like, I think he'll live in a castle and be a prince and live in a palace like the Louvre. And they're like, the Louvre, like the Mona Lisa. And she's like, who the fuck is Lisa?
I thought that was so funny.
I love it.
But like her prince was cheating on her with this Lisa who he be making a Mona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why she's smirking.
Yeah, it was so funny to me.
But everyone sleeps. For some reason, in my mind, the first time I watched it, they drugged the champagne. But then I noticed that not everyone took it. And then that was not the case. They just fell asleep on the plane.
Yeah, because they were circling Dallas for 9 hours.
Because they were circling Dallas for 9 hours. They pass out flags and berets and are like, yay, Paris! We'll get your reactions when you get off the flight. And they immediately are like, Paris, Texas? Like, hell no. And then Cindy comes out and just says, is there a Texas in France?
I love that. It was so funny.
So good. But let's talk about reality shows fucking tricking people.
Yes.
What's your favorite one that you've seen?
I kind of love the Too Hot to Handle like formula.
Yes.
Because it is tricking the contestants thinking they're going to be on the first season of a new reality TV show. Every year. And so they create like a celebrity host and like a new crazy premise for a reality TV show that isn't ever going to happen.
No.
And then they trick 20 hot stupids into being on that show. And then that is always centered around like hooking up.
Yes.
You know, like it is sex crazed is the premise of the show. Then when they get there and reveal it's too hot to handle, you see everyone's like, oh God, what have I done? It's so funny. It's also the meanest thing you could do to people. That and the trial marriage in The Ultimatum is nuts to me.
The trial marriage in The Ultimatum is fucking crazy work.
That's how I knew the Lachey's were Joker levels of diabolical.
Oh, absolutely. I love the Too Hot to Handle one because the show they pitch them every time is literally like party on the island. And
Yes.
that's not enough for a show. And I realize that I'm coming at this from somebody who pitches things. And so I'm like, there's not enough here. There's not enough to watch, but they don't realize that because they're hot stupids. And they're
Right.
like, I get to party for 6 weeks. Let's go. My favorite is in later seasons of Too Hot to Handle, where people are now aware that Too Hot to Handle exists and get to the island. And then someone's like, we're about to announce an exciting twist. And they're like, please don't let this be too hot to handle. And then it fully is. That's my fuck. A guy cried one year. And like, I get it. It's unfortunate that we've tricked people and that their emotions are at stake. But if the idea of getting a fun vacation on an island, being paid to be there, room, board, you name it, and all you have to do is not fuck the other people there, makes you cry, we need to reevaluate some things in life, dog.
It's not just you can't hook up with the other people there. It's you can't hook up with yourself,
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
You can't masturbate. That is the one.
And if I remember correctly, that's what he said right before he started to tear up a little bit.
A little bit. That guy didn't last very long. And
No,
then there
he
was
did
the
not.
one guy who tried to sneak into the shower and I was like, bro, they have cameras there.
Yeah.
The trial marriage is crazy. Absolutely you have to watch Naked Dating. Because they let people straight up bang and it's like not even weird. But then they'll just be like, they get to vote each other off. So people are like breaking couples up to try and up their chances of winning. Or like, I like her and want to date her, so I'm going to vote this guy off to try and get it. It's bonkers.
And they're doing this, if I remember correctly from the title, fully clothed?
Completely nude. And because it's the UK, they show it all. Anyway, they are tricked. They're upset.
Yeah.
But they're still going to participate on the show, except for Dawn. Dawn is like, I want fucking out.
Yeah, this is 45 minutes from where she grew up. Like, she's over it. This is the one place she didn't want to be.
Yeah, and they're like, you're contractually obligated, and if you leave, you forfeit your actual, like, appearance fee. And she's
Right.
like, fuck. So she has to continue, right?
Yeah.
They get to the ranch, and they're like, you'll soon meet Mr. Trey McCallan III. Ooh. But first they take them to the swag room, which is something they almost never show on a reality show, but is a very real thing.
Yeah. I did love that Dawn was just like, I'm just going to go to my room. And then it cuts to all the other ladies fighting over the stuff in the swag room.
Yes. Now, the swag room, sometimes you get to keep it, sometimes you don't, depending on what kind of swag it is. But it's because they can't guarantee that everyone has enough TV-ready outfits for what they want.
Right.
So the way they get around that is buying it for you and then pressuring you to wear it. Or most people don't need to be pressured. They're like, new clothes.
Yeah, you probably want to wear it because it's like nicer versions of what you have. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's the matching necklace all of the cast has to wear so that we can pick up sound.
The microphone,
Yeah.
yes. But it's on The Bachelor where they have different evening gowns every time. No one owns that many evening gowns. They aren't bringing that many evening gowns.
Yeah, they're not 1930s Hollywood actresses.
Yeah, it's a ruse. Production is giving them evening gowns to wear, and that's how they get around having enough clothes for the time they are there. Now, the flip side of that is Drag Race, where they have to fit everything into a certain amount of measured suitcases.
But that is not a dating show. That is a skill show, right?
That is a skill show.
Yeah, it's a talent show.
That's why skill shows are better, but like...
Yeah, if you made all of the bachelorettes make their own ball gown before...
Oh, I will watch that shit.
Yeah, I'd watch that too.
You guys have to call the forest creatures to help you sew a dress. Like, Cinderella's gonna win, but I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she just goes to her room. We find out that her roommate is Jasmine, who's very, very sweet and very nerdy. And Jasmine is on the show for like the social aspect of it, where she's like, I don't know if he'll be for me, who knows? But like, I'm here to make friends. She's, I believe, an engineer or a scientist of some sort, where she has like A formula to solve male pattern baldness.
Definitely a STEM major, like very small.
A cajillionaire, yes.
Yeah, she's very smart.
Very, very smart.
At least in her book smart ability. The guy she seems to fall for, I think she could probably do better, honestly.
Oscar.
But like, love is love. I get it.
Love is love. He like worships her.
Yeah.
And on a second watch, you see it even more where he's kind of like in the background or whatever. And I kind of love that for her. Like
he's like so happy that she wins the challenge and gets to go on a date
Yes.
with the guy who's in the show
Someone
and not
else.
him. Yeah. But like he genuinely is happy for her. Like he does
Yes.
seem kind of great for her, you know?
Oh, Jasmine and Oscar for the win. That's who I'm shipping from this movie is Jasmine and Oscar.
Fair. That they're the runners up, which always do better than the winners.
Dawn goes out to the stables, and this is where she runs into Trey, and she's like, oh my God, wait, are you the guy? And he's like, I'm the guy. And she's like, thank God, you got to kick me off this ranch, man.
Yeah.
Like, I got to get out of here. And he's like, how about no, because I'm in love with you. What?
Too soon? I mean, he doesn't say that, but like that's what it is.
He doesn't say that.
Yeah.
It's definitely where the wheels are turning. He's like, I ain't kicking you off. I just found you again. I was looking for your glass slipper the whole time.
Yep.
Anyway, so she goes back to the house, and Rachel, the producer, is kind of looking for her, finds her, and she's like, you got to get dressed for like elimination stuff. And she's like, I don't care. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Paris for art school. And Rachel's like, don't fucking tell anybody that. It could be fraud. It's not fraud. You can go on a reality show for whatever you want.
Yeah.
As long as you play by the rules.
That's kind of what Rachel explains.
Yes.
You know, like, yeah, as long as you're honest and like, you know, you got to play by the rules of the show, you're fine, you know? And that's kind of what convinces her to like show up and like do the show, honestly.
Right. Well, I would say the thing that she finds out from Jasmine convinces her more.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But we'll get to that in just a second. So she gets dressed. She goes out for what's supposed to be like a big dinner where they all get to meet the cowboy. But of course, no one eats on reality TV. And the fact that they put this in here makes me laugh so hard because they are strategically putting plates of food in front of people,
Yeah.
but no one is eating it. If you ever watch reality TV, they're getting a little bit better at this because I think they know people have noticed. Like the only time I see people eat is on like Too Hot to Handle. Sometimes they have breakfast.
Yeah.
And that's it. But like every other time you'll see people sitting around a table. You might hear forks clinking on plates, but you never see people actually eat. And you just see plates of food in front of them. That food is edible sometimes. Sometimes they have to shoot for hours and food can't sit out that long. And that's part of why they're not actually eating. But the other part of it is there's a lot of horrible body shaming and dysmorphia that goes on those shows. And so some people are on crazy crash diets. But a third reason, they strategically give them food at certain times, usually off camera, because they want them drinking on camera. And if they strategically put your food at certain times, you are more likely to get drunker. And they want you drunk on camera.
That they do. Yeah.
That is 100% the reason. But later you'll see that there's a pantry with a bunch of food and they're all hiding in the pantry eating. That's very real.
I thought that was so funny and also kind of a little sad just because like
Yes.
you're trying to eat off camera because at very least like you could be seen in an unflattering light if you're like monging down on something.
Yes.
But I mean, she does just like grab a chicken wing and start eating it. She's like, I don't care. I'm here for the night, hopefully.
Yep.
And then I'm out. So like, let's just get this over with. I'm going to eat.
The worst don't eat on reality show version of this I've ever seen was back on America's Top Model way back in the day. By the way, it doesn't age well.
No, it does not.
If you have body image struggles that you have worked through, don't try to go back and watch America's Next Top Model.
No, you don't go back and watch the show that gave you those issues.
Thank you. But there was one where there was a gorgeous woman who was a size 8 and they kept harping on her size and like trying to get her to suck her stomach in.
Size 8.
Yeah, she's a size 8.
Jesus.
Fucking nuts, right? And at one point, and I'm surprised the editor left it in, but they're all sitting and she's eating lasagna because that's what they brought them to eat. Like the studio, like the production feeds you, right? So you're eating what's there.
Yeah, it wasn't like she ran out to Fazoli's. She's
No.
locked in a house.
Yes. And they're like, you really should be watching what you're eating. And she literally is like, I'm eating the food they're bringing me. And like, I think most people don't realize that. They're like, you are basically trapped there. You eat whatever's at craft services. You eat what they put in front of you when they put it in front of you because what? You cannot leave.
Yeah.
You can't leave. And you can't like Postmates anything in because you could be air quotes cheating or whatever. Like, any requests have to go through a producer or a PA. And so, yeah, there's a room of chips where people are like, oh, thank God there's fucking chips. Like,
Yeah.
this is what it is like to be on a reality show like this. Anyway, so we do find out through all these introductions, it's his grandfather's ranch that he has kind of come back to run it. We will find out later it's because his dad's kind of a city boy and this was his dream, but not his dad's dream. But that's not really important.
Yeah.
Right now, what is important is we're about to meet everyone else. And this is where Amber has my favorite introduction of the movie.
Yes.
Because she's been wearing a lei this entire time. And she goes, aloha, and like puts it over his head. And he's like, aloha, what island are you from? And she just goes, I'm from Cleveland. And then it just cuts away.
Yeah.
It just cuts away. So many people do weird shit like that on reality shows.
I did think it was kind of a fair question, though, because she's wearing a lei in a non-Hawaiian based reality TV show.
Yes.
It's not even like they were going to Paris, Hawaii or something, you know, like,
Yes.
So I would assume that you're like trying to tell me who you are as a person,
Right.
giving me a lei and then saying aloha. I felt kind of bad for him. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, I got why he got there.
I 100% get why he got there. And it's because producers are like, bring something fun to show you about you. And so like one time I was at an audition for a reality show and me and a friend were pretending to be married to get money. Don't worry about it.
I've seen Larry and Chuck get married or whatever. Chuck and Larry get married or whatever.
Sure,
Yeah.
right? The other team was a mother and daughter. And they were like, what's your thing about your team? And they're like, we're the vodka girls. And that was like their whole thing.
I love it.
And I don't think the show ever made the air, but I know that
really?
they got cast and we didn't because we won all the games. We were like really good at it. It was like identifying emojis and like translating it into phrases.
Nice. Yeah.
And they were fucking awful at the game, but loud.
Yeah, they were drunk. They were the vodka girls.
They were the vodka girls and they were loud. And so they got cast and we didn't. But that's the kind of shit this is of like, pick a thing that's you. And a lot of times it comes out weird and they're like, even better.
Yes, that would definitely make the cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I do love that this montage is done in a very like, can I steal him for a sec? Like that very like, hi, I'm going to borrow you for a sec.
When Cindy, a.k.a. Cinderella, walks up and does a full 360 spin into where they are, I lost my mind. I was like, I've never seen who's playing Cinderella in anything before, but I want her to be in everything moving forward. She is hilarious.
I do love that she does the like Real Housewife version of this, which is she's like, my parents named me Cindy, but you can call me Cinderella, but I don't have to be home by midnight. That is the exact cadence of the Real Housewives intros. And the only time I've seen it like mocked better was SNL with John Mulaney did a whole like section of just the intros that just get progressively crazier as they go along. Like, I'm gay and I'm Italian. And you're like, what? What does this have to do with anything? Anyway, I do think it's wild that Lexi comes up next and she's like, you know, Tennessee helped with the Alamo. And he's like, Davy Crockett was my childhood hero. I was like, wasn't Davy Crockett super racist? Wasn't that part of why he joined the fight at the Alamo?
Paige, that's not unlike a lot of Tennesseans today.
I know. But then Dawn comes up and is like, y'all lost the Alamo. And I was like, thank you, Dawn. Thank you.
And Trey is like, oh, I guess that is right. We did lose.
We did lose. But they have a conversation where she's just like, hey, can't wait for you to kick me off or whatever. And they're like, wait a second. Have you guys met before? Because that's a problem in a reality dating show. Unless it's naked dating, where that absolutely happened and two people arrived on the first day and are like, we just broke up.
What?
Like, not after like a long-term thing. They went on like a handful of dates and then he ghosted her. And then they end up naked on the same dating show. Oh my God, Todd, you have to watch it. It's so crazy.
Paige, we're going to have to come back and record this, the rest of this episode after I watch the 12 hours that is that season.
100. It's not even because it's only like 6 episodes because it's the UK. It's great. Lots of dicks though.
She was like, I recognize that mole on that man's ass.
And she's literally like, what? It's fucking great.
Amazing.
A lot of socks. Just out.
Wait, what?
They're almost all of them are uncut.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant actual socks. And I was like, wait, are they naked or not?
They do sometimes wear socks, but like, no, they are naked the whole time.
I'm sorry. They wear socks?
They wear shoes too sometimes.
What?
Yeah.
This is outrageous. No, ma'am. The show is naked and afraid.
Anyway, so they're like, wait, you guys know each other. Did you have sex? Have you dated before? Do you feel stalked?
Because that would be a problem. I do feel like the fact that they knew each other to the level they knew each other is probably fine for the show. Like, they met. He didn't even buy her a drink. They had half a dance. Like, he didn't even know her name. Like,
right.
I did like that the executive producer says to him, do you feel stalked right now?
Right.
Because, like, I understood why he asked that question. Like,
100%.
It doesn't matter that it's like, he's a guy and she's a girl, or vice versa. Like,
yes.
You would want to know, like, hey, did they have enough information about you that this makes you feel uncomfortable?
Come find it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, there's no way she did, you know? So, like,
right.
He's like, no, not at all. And plus, I could, like, crush her with my hands, although I wouldn't ever. But the fact that I could is part of it for her.
Is attractive. Yeah, that's part of it.
But, like, I would never do that. And she knows it. And that's, like, why she feels safe and protected.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
You
so
get it.
like, we're fine. We can continue. I mean, none of those things were said, but between the way she was looking at him, I knew that that's what the scene told me. You know what I'm saying?
100%. That's her actor's secret.
Yeah, her actor's secret is she kind of likes to be choked a little bit.
Look.
Safely.
Yes, by someone who does it responsibly that's not going to hurt you.
Exactly.
We get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she is absolutely still trying to get kicked off the show, though.
Yes.
So she's playing it kind of aloof or whatever. And he's like, joke's on you. I'm still voting you in, bitch.
Right.
Oh, well, she gets a spur and is upset about it. But then she talks to Jasmine, who's like, yes, but they pay you for dates. So like every time you go on a date with somebody, like, or with him, you could potentially win money. So like, keep that in mind. And she's like, oh my God, fuck. Right.
I got to win dates, right? And
I got to win dates.
It seems like it gets progressively more money because I think one of the dates was 5,000
Yes.
and one of the other
And then
dates was
15,000.
15,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, like she could potentially make more money than her appearance fee pretty easily by winning a few dates.
Yes. But we cut to her. She's like drawing horses. She goes out to look at the horses in the pasture. And this is where we get the sex bomb spray down, which
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Which someone
Thank
needs to
you.
overcut like my pony into for sure.
Thank you. Post it on Instagram. Thank you. Anyway. And he like sees her watching, calls it out and is like, gonna be a hot one. And this first challenge, they're like doing farm work. And she's actually good at it because she clearly grew up in, the farm life, if you want to think of it.
Rural Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite, though, is Cinderella, who's like, the horses and I harmonized. And it's just her in the middle of the pastures. They're all running around her. And she's like,
She's like Ariel losing her voice, like that, like,
Yeah.
And but like horses all around her. And she's kind of also screaming because she's scared a little bit.
Yes.
Like the performance of Cinderella in this
Hysterical.
movie is pretty next level funny. And
So good.
I don't think she gets enough credit by the cast. Like she's so funny. Like everyone looks at her like she's dumb. I would be cracking up if I was in the scene with her. I would not be able to not.
She'd be my Chloe on this show. I'd be like, go, Chloe, go. But like the performance, even just in this scene of like pretending to sing, but being scared and just so funny.
And she's like man
so
from the
good.
snowy river close to those horses, right? Like one false swoop from one of those horses and she's going to end up like that dude's dad in that movie that I watched once as a child but had a formative impact on me.
And scarred you for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got horse kicked to death, Paige.
Yeah, I assumed.
His paw got horse kicked to death.
A lot of people's paws got horse kicked to death, okay?
Actually, I think that might be a rom-com. We should do that.
Man from Snowy River? I think it is. It's classified as Western/family.
Yeah, I was a Mormon. That checks out.
Anyway, she and Trey talk and she's like, you're sending me home, right? Actually, because she hasn't found out about the dates yet. It's after this that she does. But
right.
He's like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. See you at elimination. And he keeps her and she's super upset. But this is where Jasmine tells her about her plan for male pattern baldness, but also that if you win dates, you win money.
Yeah.
Cut to the Mechanical Bull Challenge.
Which they would 1000% do in this reality TV show premise in Paris, Texas. 1000%.
100%. And they would have Eiffel Towers behind it because it'd be so dumb.
Yes.
And I would love it. Have you ridden a mechanical bull and how good are you at it?
I have not ridden a mechanical bull, and I imagine I wouldn't be great at it. Although I do have pretty good balance, largely because I ride my skateboard around my neighborhood too much.
Sure.
And I apologize to anyone who lives within 3 miles of me. But it's a different kind of balance, I think. I don't think I'd be good at it.
I am weirdly good at it.
I can see
and I've
that.
done it a handful of times. It's because I'm short and have a low center of gravity and thick thighs. So like I can stay put on that thing for a long ass time.
Yeah. And you don't even have to walk up and tell the person who's operating the bull, who is also the romantic lead in the movie, to cheat to help you win.
Right.
Because when the lady who's from Hohenwald, Tennessee or whatever, trying to pass herself off as like Nashvilleian, she walks up and is like low and slow, which like, that's cheating, friend. Like, it needs to be the same course every time. Yeah.
Yeah, for a timed challenge.
I mean, there's a reason they tie something to a horse's dick that's supposed to kick you off of it. Like, they're making it kick when they're doing that, right? Like, they do that on purpose.
I didn't know that was part of it until right this moment.
Paige, I travel a lot and I talk to people from a lot of different various walks of life.
Clops of life.
Yes, cloppity clops of life. And I met someone at a conference in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
Whose husband and son have been or currently are professional bull riders.
I should have known this. My husband's stepfather was a professional bull rider for a while.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think it's like super inhumane. I don't really know. Like they do it so they don't do like electrical shocks. Like there's definitely worse ways of doing it, I should say. But I don't really know anything about it. But I had a million questions when she told me that.
Yeah.
Like, and she was so great. She told me everything. And I was like, okay, how does someone get to be a professional? Like what level? And then I was like, how much money do they make? And she was so honest with me about it. I was shocked, honestly. I was full shocked.
Bleep it if you want, but I have to know.
I'll just say it because this is, I have set it up. Like this is very secondhand information. Sure. So like, I don't know any of these as facts, just this lady, right?
Okay.
So she said that her husband, when they were coming up in the game, when he first went professional, would go to these things in Vegas in the, guys, mid to early 90s.
Okay.
And there would be like 7 days of rodeos. And each of those days, if you're in the top 3, you're winning at least $3,000 to $10,000 a day.
Okay.
So if you're good, you can make easy $200,000 and $250,000 in the 90s.
Oh, damn.
In about 7 months.
Okay.
I was blown away. I mean, and not like, it's just a different culture from me. And I kind of love talking to people from different cultures because I want to know like what's fun about it. What was it like growing up in this? Like, because mine was very music based and theirs was very like outdoorsy adventure-y based.
Yeah.
And I'm so fascinated by it. I had a million questions.
I bet it's because it's dangerous.
It is.
Right?
It is.
It's super dangerous. That's probably why they pay more for it. Kind of like drag racing and stuff like that. I grew up with a family that drag raced.
But they bring in enough fans to pay for that. You know, it's profitable for the venues to do that. Like I was blown away with it. It was so cool. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Lexi wins the mechanical bull through cheating. So she wins the date. And I do love that their date is just them in a spa with champagne because that is always like, it's like, how can we get the most clothes off of them in a way that seems socially acceptable?
Oh, they're going to play the very common bikini twister game. Like it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Bikini twister. Oh, we gave you lotion to give massages as if that's not something kind of weird.
Right.
But I also love that they're like, we don't have to use body doubles this year, which is bonkers.
I laughed out loud. I did.
I laughed out loud. You know, they definitely do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But she does the thing of like, oh, my shoulders are so sore. And she's like, he's not good. Because Dawn is now snooping around on the date because she does have feelings for him.
Yeah, she's honestly sneaking around this like pool jacuzzi area like Jason Mantzoukas on his season of Taskmaster.
Just popping through the bushes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But I do love that she's like, oh, my shoulders, like, want me to massage it for you? And I'm like, this is the oldest trick in the book. And if you are a lady who's like, guys don't like me, try this one.
Yeah.
And see real quick which dudes volunteer to give you a shoulder massage.
It'll be a lot.
Hey, I've nabbed 2 shouldery dudes with this exact approach, and then one of them during pandemic married a woman that looks exactly like me. Anyway, neither one of them was Jake. I've never tried. Jake likes to give me massages anyway. That's just a thing he enjoys.
Yeah.
But like, it's you providing within the social contract permission to break the touch barrier.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, she falls into the pool. Dawn does, interrupting the date, and is like, "Oh, I didn't see you guys there. The deck is so slippery.
It's real slippery out." Yeah.
But we cut to the next day, or rather, we cut to a round robin of confessionals of like, I can't believe she sabotaged that date.
I like that they get to the Hooters bouncer.
Yes.
And she's like, she's just doing what she's got to do to win. I kind of respect it. But if she does it on my date, I'll fucking kill her or whatever.
Immediately cut to throwing axes.
Yeah.
And if they win the axe throwing, they get to cook a farm-to-table meal.
Yeah.
So they're throwing axes. Most people are bad at it, but Jasmine actually sticks an axe. So does Lexi. And then Dawn sticks one dead ass center.
Yeah.
But then finally, the girl who's rough around the edges throws one and it bounces back and hits her in the head. Thankfully, she didn't get capital M murdered.
I wrote in my notes, like, if this movie was Brave, they'd kill her.
I do love that the first thing, instead of like, get an ambulance or whatever, they're just call the lawyer.
Yes, 100% that's what they do.
So good.
But that's largely an indictment on rural healthcare, Paige, and that's why I wanted to talk to you to talk about. No, sorry.
Rub some ivermectin on it. Are you not horse maxing, Todd? You should be horse maxing. That's where you drink horse electrolytes instead of Gatorade.
Because nay, Paige.
I learned about it on Shirtless Instagram.
You need to get a different algorithm in your life.
Wrong.
I deleted Facebook and Instagram from my phone when Natalie and I went on our vacation, and I have yet to put them back on, and I do not miss it at all.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But my algorithm is almost entirely baby monkeys with backpacks, children in Halloween costumes, and shirtless men working on farms.
Paige, we get it. You're baby crazy.
No, not at all. I really like the inappropriate baby costumes. Those are my favorite. And honestly, if you could just put the monkeys in the Halloween costumes, 2 birds, 1 stone.
What's the backpack if not the start of a Halloween costume?
Okay, can I tell you my ideal monkey backpack video?
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell me your ideal monkey backpack video because we're not here to talk about anything specific.
Not at all. So he's on a skateboard with his backpack, and then he just reaches into the backpack and pulls out a knife. That's what I...
Paige, okay, first off, I'm sick of you talking about the videos I post of me on my skateboard as monkeys with backpack videos. I get that I'm a little hairy,
Right.
but rude. It's also because I'm doing it in assless chaps and my butt is bright red.
Yeah, because you painted it that way on purpose for the rituals.
Nobody's going to get my subtle Mr. Peepers on a skateboard reference unless I look the part.
Exactly.
Paige, we got to move on. We have to move on.
Anyway, so they have their farm-to-table dinner, and this is just them talking about, like, he really loves the farm, and she wants to get away from where she is, but this farm is really great, and there's great stuff here. And this is just them actually bonding.
Yes, Paige, I thought it was great. I like that they actually, I think, genuinely have some chemistry in the movie. Like, I think the movie does a pretty good job of that. I, at this scene, was like, oh shit, is this a challenge show? Because it seems like it was her responsibility to prepare the meal based upon the ingredients that they had from the farm that he like owns, right? And that to me is like a Top Chef kind of challenge. Like, you have to make me, your future possible husband, the first meal you've ever cooked for him using only these things that we've sourced from the farm.
Welcome to Sexy Chopped. In
Yes.
your basket, you'll find the finger of the second runner-up and a wheel of cheese, saran wrap, 2 peppermint candies, and a bottle of Fanta. That I would have killed to see that. That would have been great.
Honestly, I do think they should do a dating show where it's just that.
It's just chopped.
Yeah, you have to cook your like future spouse possibly a meal, but like not a good cooking show, like
Right.
America's Worst Cooks, like one of those kind of shows.
Like, yeah. Anyway, the next day, they have their relay race where now she and Lexi are on. Like, they are actually fighting for this shit now.
Yeah.
And the other girls are not necessarily as good at the relay race, so she and Lexi end up ahead until they end up on basically the balance beam.
Because once you get to the balance beam, it's no longer a team sport. It's every lady for themselves.
Every lady for themselves. Welcome to Farm Gladiators.
Farm gladiators?
Farm Gladiators. Yes.
Love it.
Where they go tumbling into the mud, so they're disqualified.
Oh, but there's a full-on mud fight.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why I think the Hooters bouncer might be a little bisexual, is because she gets into like,
Yes.
I don't know, break it up maybe is what she
Yeah.
thought she was there to do. But she very much just starts like doing it too.
Yeah.
And then she's like, this is super hot, right? Like,
Yeah, this is sexy as hell, is what she says.
Yeah.
Which is great. My favorite, because so Amber and Jasmine make it across, and Jasmine gets there first. Jasmine's going to win, as Oscar, her crush,
Yeah.
says. But Cinderella gets it to the balance beam and drops her tiara in the mud and cries and then gets splashed with mud. And she's like, this is not my fairy tale ending. I want out and I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
her screaming the cheeseburger line made me cackle. Yeah.
My favorite is, so they like finish it up. Jasmine's the winner. Lexi is mad. And we cut to Cinderella just in a pop-up with a blanket eating a cheeseburger quietly next to the producers. And
Yeah.
I was like, yep.
She got her hunk of meat.
She got her hunk of meat. Somebody accidentally hits the feedback button on the megaphone. It spooks the horses. And Dawn has to run to try and help him get the horses back. So they actually spend time together.
Yeah. He actually saves her. Well, it says like saves her life maybe a little bit, but I don't think I think she would have been fine, honestly.
Yeah, I
because
think
she knows her way around horses, but like
Right.
he does jump on top of her as the horses are running by, which is chivalrous. And, you know, I think he may have taken advantage of the situation a little bit, but I get it.
Well, he was just trying to keep his jealous horse girlfriend from clip-clopping her to death.
That's what it was for sure.
Yeah.
He's like, Bernice won't crush her if I'm on top.
Sorry, in my brain, I was like, Bernice is 69 hands tall. But that's just, it's too many hands.
It cuts to her like hero shot back in the stables.
Yeah. But yeah, her confessional of just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
clomp, clomp, clomp.
And then we get subtitles of like, I'm going to get that bish.
Dark horse of the competition.
That's her Chiron? Yeah.
Yeah. Bernice, 4.
Real dark horse.
Real dark horse. Anyway, so we cut to the elimination ceremony that night. Dawn gets the last spur, which means Cinderella has to go home.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll forfeit my winnings to stay, which is how the show introduces it. That's an option, that you can forfeit all your winnings to stay and have a second chance, but you only get that option one time.
And if you've gotten any winnings, which Cinderella has not.
Yes, Cinderella has no winnings.
I love that they were like, wait, can she do that? And they were like, yeah, but she didn't win anything, so no.
Yeah. But my favorite is she's like, okay, I didn't win anything, but I won this crown and that shows dedication and I love you. She crazy. But then I love that Rachel, the producer, is like, she really loved him.
Yeah.
Like, where she's like, I almost believed it. But Cindy's out. And this is where they announce that they're down to the final 5, I think, and the last 2 will go to Paris.
Yeah.
So it is Lexi versus Dawn at this point. And Lexi confronts Dawn and is like, you got a date without having to actually work for it. There's something going on. I'm going to find out. And she leaves. But the reality is Trey has already decided that it is Dawn. So he like sneaks in and wakes her up at 6 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
And Jasmine doesn't care because I think Jasmine has already like invested in Oscar. And so she's like, have a good time. Like,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Jasmine's still in the show, but she's in the show maybe for the money and honestly just to hang out with her friend.
Yeah.
Like she's not into Trey. So like she's fine if she doesn't stay, but
And she even admits it. She's like, I feel like we're too different, but you know, whatever.
yeah,
So he puts her in his electric truck. At this point, this briefly becomes a car commercial.
it does.
But
yeah.
they drive to somewhere on the ranch. This is like this kind of quiet little lagoon. And they have actual chemistry. And he's like, I'm actually glad we're getting to know each other. I went back to that bar. I couldn't find you. I really like you. Why are you trying to, fight this? And she's like, I like you too. I wish I didn't because the timing and the show sucks. Like, I wish I could have gotten to know you under different circumstances.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think fate brought us back together because I couldn't find you after the bar and I wanted to, but now you're here and we actually get to know each other.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, okay, I want to get to know you too. They make out, and it is implied that they fuck.
He lays her down. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They definitely have sex in his secret place, is all I'm saying. And I don't mean pegging.
Right. No, that's very public. It's in the back. Everyone can see it in the jeans. Anyway, but after, when they come out, he's like, I want to see your art. And she's like, that's really personal. And he's like, the thing we just did isn't personal,
Right.
which to me, I was like, they had sex.
Yeah.
But while they're out having sex, Lexi goes snooping and finds her art school letter in her backpack.
Why would you bring that with you? That seemed insane to me. Leave that at home.
Because she thought she was going directly to Paris.
They sent you that. They know
I
who
know,
you are.
I know,
You don't need,
I
it's
know.
not like a golden ticket.
I've got a golden ticket to go to the art school that is too expensive.
Man, truth.
Anyway, they go to her house to see her art. This is where we see he's like, it's a broken ladder to the golden apple, which represents the impossible dream. And it's, I get it. She's worked so hard.
Right.
She can't get there. But who should walk in but her grandmother and her 2 sisters? So he gets to like meet her family without the cameras.
You say walk in, but like Granny has a shotgun because they just broke
Yeah.
into the barn, which is nuts to me that they didn't say hello to her family before going to the barn.
Yes. But Granny stays strapped. And he like gets along with her sisters. It's a very sweet,
Yeah.
This movie does a great job of actually establishing them having chemistry and him fitting in her world that a lot of movies like this don't spend the time on. And this movie does.
And they grew up 45 minutes from each other. Like there's
Right.
no way they wouldn't hit it off,
Right.
on some level. Yeah.
Right. But they then come back to set and understandably everyone's pissed because you can't just
Yeah.
leave. Like that would typically disqualify her from a show. It has notably disqualified people from RuPaul's Drag Race in the past. But
Okay.
yes, but I do love that they're like, where the hell have you been? You have a date with Jasmine at the John Deere factory. And that is such a reality show date of like
Yeah.
just sitting on tractors with champagne flutes being like, I like this. I feel like we're really getting to know each other.
Having producers shout like farm equipment puns at you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just like, wow, this really gets my engine running.
Right.
Like, it's just, you could harvest my corn maybe later. Like, it's just,
I can't wait till we thresh her. I gotta go. I'm just gonna leave. I'm leaving. I'm out.
you got to be careful. Don't catch thresh. Anyway, I do love the executive producer's rant in this scene where he's like, all of your interactions will be in an official capacity on very elaborate but weird dates with incredible production values. And I was like, man, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
But as they're going inside, Lexi pulls him aside, Trey aside, and is like, you're going to want to hear this. And then we cut to the elimination ceremony where he eliminates Dawn without asking her or talking to her about anything. And she's just like, what? Like, what are you, why? I thought we had a thing. And he's like, you got what you wanted. And she has to go pack.
Which, in fairness to him, with the information that he has, I understand why he thought, oh, well, she is just using this to get to Paris.
Sure.
So I will give her what she asked for me initially,
Right.
which is to get her off the show as quick as possible because that's what she really wants. I didn't take this as like him rejecting her so much as like him making an assumption without communicating her, which I think is the mistake he makes.
Yes,
but
yeah.
him trying to give her what her stated to him goals were.
Right.
So like when he, at the end of this movie, is still fully into her and is like, I think about you every day. I was like, yeah, I would too if that was me. Like if that was Natalie and like I so fell for her and I found out that like because of what she said and then someone else's context at the wrong time,
Yes.
I thought she wasn't into me at all and just needed to get off the show. I would, 1000% be like lost in that.
And absolutely, like at the end of the movie, well, and we'll get to it in just a second, it's very clear that he's not into Lexi.
At all.
That she's the front runner to win and he won't stay with her.
Before they're even on camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dawn goes home and then does leave for France and do her dream. And like we have like a montage of her in Paris, ending with her in a cafe where she's drawing, she's going to school, she's living her dreams with the money from the show.
Yeah, I got this, that this was like maybe 5 or 6 days later though, because they say even like really quick, like when she gets back, she's there like the morning after she gets back at home having breakfast with her family. And they're like, when are you leaving? And she's like, I have to leave tomorrow. And so I could see that this is like her first full day of class or whatever. You know, it's like that soon.
This is the thing they don't get right about reality shows necessarily, where usually reality shows sequester you.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to go back home. Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to go back home because then people would know you lost.
Right.
So you usually are there the entire time until they decide winners. Or until they decide finalists or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rachel comes and sits down with her in the cafe and is like, hey, accounting gave me your new address. We're filming the finale tomorrow. And she's like, well, who's in the finale? And she's like, Jasmine and Lexi, but I'm still rooting for you. And she knows that Jasmine's not really into him and Lexi is evil. So
Lexi, I wouldn't say Lexi is evil. Lexi is a businesswoman.
yes.
And her business is influence.
yes.
She's good at her job.
Yeah.
You know, but that means she doesn't really love Trey, and Trey knows
No.
that. So it's not going to be a fit, you know?
Yeah, and to be honest, one thing I'm missing from her in this movie is a couple scenes from now, because, you know what, we'll table it. We'll talk about it when we get to
Okay.
it. We gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
But Rachel also tells her, Lexi showed him your art school letter. That's why he rejected you. This is what happened. And so she's like, I still think about him all the time. I still have feelings for him. I would love to tell him about that. I don't really want to do it on camera, but I can't really get close to him without that. And then Rachel's like, you could forfeit your winnings. And she's like, I can't afford to be without that money. And she's like, well, I will leave this choice up to you, but there is a gorgeous dress at your apartment. If you don't wear it,
Please keep the tags on it.
keep the tags on it. It has to go back.
Yeah.
It has to go back.
I thought that was so funny.
So real.
I know.
But then we cut to them setting up for the final shots. And this is where we know he's not interested in Lexi. And the executive producer tells him, hey, Lexi has a perfect shot at her own season next year, so don't feel bad for her.
Yeah.
And Jasmine has a crush on Oscar for some reason, so you will just finish the show and walk away, essentially.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Dawn shows up. So they have the other girls circle the block, so Dawn gets a chance to talk to Trey. And she tries to explain, and he's like, were you just going to come to Paris with me and then leave me? And she was like, no, I really hoped we could work it out together because I do care about you. And he's like, then you should have just told me that. Like,
Yeah.
you had all day. And she's like, I tried. And he's like, try harder or something, because like now I can't trust you. And so she leaves and leaves the apple. But Rachel, the producer, is like, hey man, she forfeited all of her winnings to come back and tell you that.
And his response to that is like, why would you let her do that? Like, this is,
Right.
she clearly gave up her dream to like come back here. Why would you let her do that? And I love that his concern was just for her, really, in that moment.
Yes.
It was just like, what? And then he, of course, with that context, knowing that like she gave up her dream just for a chance to like talk to and apologize to him.
Right.
It made him want to go to the second location that they had pre-planned for the runoff scene.
Right.
Because it is perfectly in front of the Eiffel Tower again. It's so funny to me. I laughed out loud, Paige.
It's so funny. And here's the one thing I'm missing from Lexi is once everything wraps up, her popping her phone out and being like, well, catch me next season
Yep.
on, and like promoting her show immediately.
Yeah.
That's what I needed. But it's fine without it. Essentially, they have a conversation, Trey and Dawn, where Trey is like, look, they can't force us to stay together, but they also can't keep us apart. So if you take the money, essentially, we just stay together, you pay for your art school, and then we figure it out. And you don't have to share the winnings because it's your money. And so they do the whole thing of like, are you for love or money? And she just goes, I'm taking the money. And everyone looks confused when that's clearly the only answer.
Right.
But then they kiss. We get a montage of them in both Parises. And that's the movie.
So having seen the movie, having talked about the movie, what did you think about The Wrong Paris?
I really like it. Is it basically Hallmark level? Yes, absolutely.
I think it's a little bit better than Hallmark level, but it is a Hallmark premise.
Yes, it's kind of similar to how I feel about Holidate.
Yes.
Where I'm like, this is more enjoyable for me than Hallmark movies because it's got a touch more realism and fucking in it.
Well, yeah, they literally have sex halfway through this, well, maybe not halfway, but towards the end of this movie, and they don't show it, but it's heavily implied.
It's heavily implied.
He won't be able to sit right for a week.
But that's because of the saddle.
Wrong secret place. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. This is also funnier than it has any right to be for a movie of this level.
I think it is too. I kind of wonder if it's just because I'm a reality TV nerd.
That too.
I do watch a lot of these shows and stuff, and I would love to say it's only because we have this podcast and I'm expected to talk about it, but I genuinely do love some of those shows because they're bonkers. So yeah, if you're not that level of a reality TV show nerd, you might not find it as funny.
Sure.
But I thought it was funny. I liked it.
For the amount of time you, Mikey, and I have spent texting each other, can you believe what that bitch said over there?
Right.
That is why, if Mikey hasn't seen this movie, I wanted to try and force him to watch it, but he probably has watched it, believe it or not.
He probably has, yeah.
He and his mom probably watched it. But that is what makes it so fun for me, is that yes, it is your basic Hallmark love story, whatever, but the surrounding universe they build is so funny that it is worth it for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But Paige, do you have any fun facts for us?
I do.
Well, it is with your fun facts. Paris fun facts.
Pearson Fode, who plays Trey, actually made his acting debut on Half-a-Ween in 2012. Basically, it's an episode of iCarly.
What?
Which starred Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah, who is the lead in this? Yeah.
Yes. I think that's pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. At one point, Lexi says the French word for good luck is merde, which is actually usually shit. It's usually an expletive in French, but it's also part of an opera tradition when an animal defecates on stage, it's considered good luck, whereupon the audience shouts, merde! And I know my R's are not great. It's because I'm stuffed up. It's fine. But have you ever seen an animal shit on stage?
Yeah.
Me too. That's why we're so lucky. That's why our lives are so great.
I don't know that has much to do with it. I was in an opera house yesterday watching a family member get married, and it was a great venue for a wedding. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did anybody shit on stage?
No.
Well,
no, there was no livestock on stage. No.
Then their marriage is doomed. I'm kidding.
Genevieve and Fox will do great. They're the best.
Yeah. I'll leave you on this one fun fact because there is not much else. But Emily and Cinderella, Emily, I believe, is one of the sisters, and Madeline Arthur, who plays Cinderella, play cousins into All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Okay.
So lots of connections in this movie, and those are your fun facts.
Well, thank you for those fun facts, Paige. Now would be when I would talk a little bit about box office, but the budget is not publicly available for this movie.
Sure.
And it didn't go to theaters, so there's no box office to speak of at all. I did look and try to find the budget, but it was not available. So, Paige, do you want to just jump to the romance scale?
Sure. Our romance scale is a scale of 1 to 4 of how romantic we found the movie today. Todd.
I'm going to give it a 2, but only because there is no sex scene.
Sure.
If there was a sex scene, it might be a 3 or a 4, depending upon how good that sex scene was.
Sure.
But instead, he just takes her to his special place and plows her on a rock, which doesn't sound great, but I hope they had a great first experience.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to have this at a 2.5 because they actually have genuine chemistry,
They do.
And I hope they end up together. And I feel like it's likely, given that the lesson they learned from this movie was to communicate more about their plans and work it out together.
It does seem like that's the big lesson. It was we just got to talk.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our romance scale.
Yeah, so this week, Paige, you made us watch The Wrong Paris. What are we going to make them watch next week?
This is one that we thought about doing during our, I guess, kind of monster month, but it didn't quite fit. And we ended up doing Crimson Peak instead.
Right.
I think is the one that we chose. But we still think this one is pretty fun. And it is streaming pretty much everywhere. So next week, we're watching Penelope with James McAvoy and Christina Ricci.
Which I have not actually seen, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I, of course, know the premise because it was pretty, I don't know if it made a lot of money, but people talked about it a lot at the time it came out. So I know the premise of it, but I don't know anything else.
I loved this movie back in the day and haven't watched it since. So maybe it's good, maybe it's not.
We will
We'll find
see.
out next week.
All right, that's your homework for next week.
Hey, Todd, do you have any reviews for us?
I do. This week, I'm going to read a Spotify comment from one of our most recent episodes. That episode being The Shape of Water. And I'm going to read this comment from Flint. And they say, finally, my movie getting its flowers, all in caps, literally all in caps.
All right.
And here's probably the real reason I read this one. It then goes on to say, Todd, And I agree with your idea that she's part of the same species too. And thank you so much.
Interesting. Okay.
And if you want to have me read your 5-star Apple review and or Spotify comment, leave us one of those things and I'll do just that. So yeah, if you guys like this show and want to hear our other show where we talk about horror movies, that is The Horror Virgin. That's the only other podcast I am on, but Paige is also on Cult Podcast, which you can find at Cult Podcast. And you can find us on social media. I am at Todd J. Awesome, literally everywhere. Paige is at Paige Wesley on Instagram.
No, it's at Rampage Wesley on Instagram and TikTok, at Paige Wesley on Twitter.
That's right. All right. So that's where you can find Paige. If you want to find the show, we are at Romancing the Pod Show, right?
Yep, Romancing Pod Show on Twitter.
Well, and Instagram, right?
And Instagram, but it's show SHO because character limits. If you start typing Romancing the Pod, it'll come up.
It'll definitely come up on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter because I haven't posted on Twitter in a hot ass minute. So who knows? But that is where you can find more of us. So yeah, guys, give us a follow. Support the show any way you can. We'd love it.
Smash that like button.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to be it for us this week, Todd. I'm Paige.
And Paige, I'm Todd.
That's right.
And you complete us
to completion.
Bye. Paige forgot how to do the outro, nerd.